EVOO, and I will tell you, if you're looking for a great computer but don't have a lot of money to spend, this is the one for you. These guys make computers for several other brands out there. They know what they're doing. I know that already because they put Intel inside. They put an Intel dual core. I won't buy a computer pretty much unless it's got Intel inside. I've trusted that brand for a long time. 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gig of storage, expandable. $229 is the feature price today, not $249, but $229. We'll ship it out for free. Comes with a lot of goodies. Number one across the board is obviously that Intel processor, which is a big deal. All right, you want power, you want performance, you want to trust the folks at Intel. 32 gigs of storage, as I said, you can expand. A year of Microsoft Office is included, gang. So you are going to get Office and PowerPoint and all the wonderful programs that come along with that, Excel, all the good stuff. That comes along with it. You get a year of that included. In addition, 3 pounds is all this weighs, okay? Very lightweight, very, very portable. It's sleek, it has obviously Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all the great things. It also comes with Windows Ink. What Windows Ink is, it's this really cool stylus. I don't know if you can see it right there. You get this really cool stylus, which allows you to sketch on the pad right here, right? Allows you to sketch, draw, make notes, all that right on your screen. That's another great feature. And then finally, the ability to detach the screen from the keyboard, which makes it a beautiful 32 gig tablet with 4 gigs of RAM, okay? So you can take this wherever you go. It magnetically closes back up. It only weighs 3 pounds. It is, when I say sleek and cool, this is like the businessman portfolio type computer, because you can take it anywhere you go. Only weighs 3 pounds, great battery life. You can use it in tablet mode, laptop mode, combine are the best. And also when you open it up, I want you to see full size keys. Okay, not a little dinky Bluetooth keyboard, full size keys and a touchpad are all included with this. You have your choice of the black or it comes in the silver. Either one, they're both super cool. They are fingerprint proof. Both of them have this really sort of a soft texture on the outside. It's what I call like a galvanized texture, but these are beautiful. Joe Harrison is our electronics expert. He's standing by. Joe, I only got to see my first sample of this morning. Very impressive for $229.
I agree. It's fully loaded. You talked about the brands, Intel on the inside, Windows on the inside, EVOO, who's been making technology now for over 3 decades. So amazing brand on here too. But it truly is one of the most versatile computers. Guy, you just took it off the screen. Like you took it off the keyboard. It gives you that versatility to be that workhorse when you need it. But then it's also now going to be that boredom buster when you want to have fun. And because there's so many different modes with this, and this is a major reason why my wife and I bought a 2-in-1 for my daughter, because we know she needs one for school, and this is perfect for kids for school. You know, even as a business owner, I have a 2-in-1 because I love how I need that keyboard from time to time, but then to be able to separate it and be able to now use it as a tablet, it's mind-blowing because normally if you want a tablet and you want a computer, you're spending twice the price because you have to buy 2 separate things. This is all built in one. And because it's so super thin, it still has all the connectivity you want, from USB ports to Bluetooth. Justin just had some amazing Bose headphones on there. That is going to allow you to sync right up to this, but it's also touchscreen. It's everything that we loved out of computers, but it gives us that power because it's nice and convenient because it has touch. But let's talk about what's really driving this whole experience. It's the processor. This is Intel on the inside. Now, most of the times when you buy a tablet type computer, you end up getting a processor you've never heard of. Well, Intel is the #1 processor manufacturer on the planet, and this is their dual core processor. But this processor is actually designed to be smarter. Because instead of Intel saying, let's make the processor faster, let's make it more efficient. Because we're changing the way we're using our things. We're on the internet a lot more. We're streaming a lot more. Are you watching Hulu or Disney Plus? Well, you want that extra long battery life. So this isn't just about being fast. This is about being more efficient, kind of like a hybrid car versus normally getting a gas guzzler. So it's great to be able to have that. But then on top of that, we give you a lot of RAM. Most tablets only have 1 gigabyte worth of RAM. we're giving you 4 gigabytes worth of RAM. More RAM you have, the more things you can do at the same time. So it really makes it an incredible experience to have that multitasking power. Those are the specs you look for when you end up buying a computer. When you hit this one button, you see that it truly is a Windows 10 machine, because this has the Windows 10, has the start screen, has all of our favorite apps that are on there, has everything we're familiar with. So when I'm using a computer, there's no learning curve at all. But then think about when you grab that tablet. All I need to do is just separate it. There's magnetic links. You separate it from the keyboard. And now I'm using that Windows as a full functioning tablet. Now let's go back to your last tablet experience. Did you get a bunch of new apps that you're never familiar with? Did you get a bunch of icons that you're not sure where to go to? This is Windows. So if you've ever used a computer, there was no learning curve with this tablet because you're already so familiar with it. I absolutely love it. And yes, it does have that touch screen that's on here that makes it convenient to be able to swipe through our photos and be able to swipe through our documents and pinch and zoom on the internet. But do you ever see something that you have to sign, or maybe you do want to draw on there? I'm going to grab my pen for a second. I love that EVOO is including this. And this isn't just a stylus. This is what they call an active stylus. This actually has its own little brain that's built inside. The touch point on here allows you to sign documents, edit internet web pages, be able to draw on here. So think about, when's the last time you got a document you had to sign?
Yeah.
What'd you have to do? You had to go print it, and then I had to sign it, then I had to scan it, then I had to fax it. Guy, all I do now is I pick up my pen from EVOO, and I just sign the document and email it back. It truly makes your life so convenient. So when I was telling you at the beginning, this is really one of the most versatile computers it is, it absolutely is, because I just went from tablet mode to computer mode using that full-size keyboard. And if I need to, right on the screen, Guy, we're also getting that pen too. It's really everything you want to have that work done and then be able to have a lot of fun playing with the tool.
That's a real kind of a big deal and a game changer, because normally to get, to be able to write on the screen like that, Joe, that's a whole separate expense, right? You got to buy the separate pen or pencil. You got to, you spend another $200 or $200 on that. And then you have to have a machine which allows you to do that. This works together, comes with it. It's part of the EVOO design to be able to sign things. And I'll be honest, I went through a legal thing in the last year or so. I had so many documents that needed to be signed. And it was back and forth with this attorney. All right, well, print it up, sign it. Do you want me to send it to you? Can you overnight it? No, that you can't. You can't do the computer. You got to print it out. If I could have signed on the screen, that would have saved me so much time. And even filling out applications and things like that, where you've got fine details or whatever. I mean, I'm just telling you, that alone is a really great value. But then, Joe, it also comes with Office, right?
Oh, that is a big, big thing, too, because with Office, and it's every program, guys. Sometimes when you get Office, you end up getting an abbreviated version. You're going to get this little box that it comes with. And this is every version of Office, every program that Microsoft creates. It's Word when you need to do some word processing. It's Excel when you need to do spreadsheets. It's PowerPoint for those presentations. It's also OneNote and Outlook. OneNote is a great program that you can use that pen and be able to cycle all your notes through as well. Plus, it even has Microsoft Teams. So if you need to use Teams, a lot of us our homes are now becoming our offices for my kids. This is where they now go to school, and be able to having that access on here really, really makes it impressive, especially considering Office is $70 by itself. But because this is Windows 10, this is a very familiar operating system. This even has something called Windows Hello. So there are a couple different ways that you actually can keep this more secure. You can talk to it with Cortana, because she's now your voice assistant also. It has all those familiar apps that we talked about. So really, when you get this at home, there is no learning curve. They were showing you with a pen right there, you now can be more productive. But Guy, you can't see it on mine, but I'm going to show you there are 2 ways to log into your system. One is there's a webcam that's on the front. It's also a webcam that's on the back side. You don't have to remember passwords anymore, because now the computer can recognize your face. But the other thing is, if you don't want to do that, it'd be easier to see on your keyboard. I'm going to tip mine forward just a little bit. On the actual mouse pad down below, there's a little corner. There's a little square on the right side, top right side of that. That's a fingerprint reader. That is even included with it. So now you don't have to remember any passwords for your banks, for your credit cards, for your computers. Your fingerprint now becomes really becomes the password. There it is. So you can have the most crazy, ridiculous password as long as you don't lose your finger. Man, you are golden, Guy. You just tap that, Takes a couple seconds, and then instantly you log into whatever access you want. So truly,
as long as I don't lose my finger.
that's the thing. Don't lose
I'll
that
be
finger.
all right, Joe. No, you know what, Joe, you know what I also love? I don't know what they put on this, but the skin on the outside of this, it really feels like skin. I mean, it feels like, I guess the best way is like a nectarine might feel, or like the skin or the leaf of or petal of a flower. It's real. I love it, and you get no fingerprints on here. So if you're carrying this a lot, when we get back and we're traveling, I would imagine any executive out there would love to have this because, like my brother lives and dies with his 2-in-1. He loves it. He uses it all the time. And he's a president, CEO of his own company, and he could have any computer he wants, but he's like, I like having, and his is like I said, about a 2 to 3 pound computer, but it's a full out, he's got a keyboard and everything, but he loves that. He loves that weight. He loves that style. Yep. Most people out there, especially seniors who don't want to lug around a 4 or 5 or 6 pound computer, love a computer like this. And I think it's great for people. This may not be your corporate computer at the office computer, but it could be it definitely will take you from office to wherever you go. Traveling with it would be great because it only weighs a few pounds. Great battery life, as Joe said, so you're not going to be charging it every 2 hours like I do with my home computer. You get a lot, and you get great imagery on here. It's all ultra high definition. You can count on Intel inside. I always say when I see Intel inside, because Intel's more expensive, obviously, than other processors. You already know that, okay, if they put Intel inside, they know what they're doing, right? Because you're not going to put a really good processor inside of a crummy computer. It doesn't make any sense. So you really are getting it top to bottom. And then the little things, Joe, like even having the finger touch ID, that's why a lot of us love our Apple products, right?
Right. When's the last time you?
Yeah, but then you got to spend, you got to spend $800, $9,000, $1,500 if you want a full-out computer, and a lot of people don't have that kind of money. So it's a great option, I think, and a great value for the price.
And especially when you're talking about the optics of a guy, one thing we still haven't even talked about, there's so many things about your EVOO that you're going to love. The screen is absolutely stunning. Guy mentioned this is full 1080p resolution. A lot of times when you get a tablet, it's DVD quality. This is full HD, so this is going to rival that TV that's sitting, in your living room. But they've also teamed up with THX. So I don't know if you've ever heard of THX, but it was actually started by a guy who made movies in the 70s. He went to the movie theater and said, wow, my movie doesn't look as good as I wanted to. His name was George Lucas, and he started the Star Wars franchise, and he started THX. Well, the THX engineers worked with EVOO, and your screen is fine-tuned by THX. So this is going to be the best movie experience that you've ever had. So if you're watching Netflix on here, if you're watching Hulu, if you're watching Disney Plus, all these amazing movies, you want to have an amazing screen. This is one of the best screens we've ever had for 2-in-1 because it truly is fine-tuned by THX. The other thing when we talk about Intel, not only is it an Intel processor, it's also an Intel high-definition video card. So even if you have a gamer in the family, you love playing race car games, or you want to play Candy Crush, or, it doesn't matter what type of game it is. Maybe you're playing the casino on here. This has the video card to be able to support it. Because don't you get frustrated sometimes when you click on something and there's a delay to it, or it starts to stutter a little bit? It's because the video card isn't fast enough to handle what's on the screen. This has one of the best ones that's out there. And because I'm using it right now as a computer, when I'm ready to use this as a tablet, I don't have to unplug anything. I don't have to Bluetooth anything. I don't have to push any buttons. There's a special magnet that actually separates it, and I go from tablet to computer. That's all there is to it, and go back to computer again. That simple, that easy, zero learning curve. And that's why we trust EVOO, who's been around for 3 decades. They make a lot of technology for a lot of other companies, and a lot of other companies just put their brands on the backside. EVOO and HSN work together to create this custom